have to get out of here.
Good for him. I have business to discuss.
Murray's going to the surface. The outside world. Let's find a way to get up there.
Cooper here. That was quite a hairbreadth escape. I think it's fair to say the girl is on Derringer's radar now. To reach the surface, she'll need to use the service elevator. To use the service elevator, she'll need a keycard. I suggest she borrow one from one of the clueless desk jockeys downstairs. Setting a destination marker for the media offices. Good luck. Mireille used a blue keycard to access the service elevator. See if you can find a keycard like hers in the media offices around here.
A Zager cassette.
This looks like an old cassette tape. You may find this difficult to believe, but I am actually old enough to remember when these were popular. I remember seeing an old boombox when we ransacked one of Zager's hideouts. However, with the facility's new censorship system coming online, I suspect most of this Zager end will be suppressed. The man enjoyed his salty language, to put it mildly.
Madame Prideaux. Speaker, listener, warrior, mentor. You say you were born in Marseille? That is correct. That's so interesting because I used to take holidays with my family in Cassis. Where in Marseille?
In the south part, near the bay.
Ah, which bay?
I thought this was a puff piece, Miss Said.
I didn't realise asking someone where they're from was a hardball question, Miss Prideaux.
Prideaux.
Well, you would know, I guess. Let's move on.
Shall we?
Badges. We don't need no stinking badges. Oh wait, this is metamorphosis. You need clearance just to use the bathroom. Never mind.
No more toothless headlines about board meetings and strategy seminars. Find me something that won't put our readers to sleep. Go on, get out there. A good story doesn't just waltz through the office door and into the headlines. Now, I have a tough obit to write tonight, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to crawl inside a bottle for a few hours.
I'll have to put my thinking cap on this, and I'll talk to Brendan as well. But I think there's something we can maybe do. Like, and the best thing you can do is you have the structure that people get, and then you flip it on its head in the Act 3. So it's more like, okay, you do this in any order. That's cool. That's A and B, and then you go for Act 3, and you think you know what the story is, right? And then in 3, maybe it like loops around that final art piece, you know, like the boss area, so you can see something in work in progress. She's like, I got it, and players like, I got this. But then the third person is somehow linked to Hope. I don't know what it is, but like some kind of like hook, some kind of twist to the story.
It's Cooper. Third one's Cooper.
Seriously, that could be it. You know, it's like she finds out like he's in on it or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to think on a little bit. Or you see the execution of the two guys. You're like, well, I didn't mean for that, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. So that's what I'm saying is that you'd be collecting information about these guards. You don't know who these guys are.
Oh, I see.
Until you get there and see the vignette. These two guys who you've character assassinated and they're going to get killed. One of them's Cooper.
I gotcha.
So you didn't know who these people actually were and the consequences of your actions. And then that's when Cooper's not at the screen in the next episode.
The part that's great too, right, is that like Cooper will have a voice in the end.
Yes.
Like you will have like caught him like I guess like talking when you do the character assassination. And then you're like, what?
Yep.
That's Cooper's voice.
And then we don't have to do the game cartridges in 4.
So the only
It's just quiet.
Oh,
it's this eerie silence.
Yeah.
I bet if you guys see the old locks versus the new locks, you'll agree. The old locks are stronger. Would you agree, Darcy?
It's fatter.
No, that the new lock icons are cute looking.
I don't know why he's cute, but they look smaller in stature.
Separated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aaron?
I think those look strong. I think it's just the sharp edges, and it's a lot more blocky. I don't dislike the other ones. I think they look fine.
Okay, Charlie.
Like I like the round.
This
I
is
like
it.
the
This is our
rounded
time.
edges.
Charlie, this is our time right here because we're losing the battle right now.
I feel like these new ones are just like smiling at me and giggling.
Can you see a face?
No.
But it just makes you happy, right, when you look at them.
They look like they want to like bounce
He
around.
didn't even know what was wrong with them until you said they were cute.
But I've been crusading against these lock icons until Charlie brought them up today, and I thought I finally have like an ally in this fight.
Okay.
So my real issue with them is that I don't feel like they match with the other icons that I'm.
他のアイコンもマッチしない気がする。
Okay, look.
いや他のアイコンとマッチさせるために僕はシェイプを変えたんだよ。
He said that he actually, in order to match the other icons, that's why he changed the shape. This is not how I want to spend my Sunday afternoon.
Okay, well, I'm just saying I'm okay with either one.
All right, it's fine.
This
You can make the final decision. I don't like them, but you can make the call. I give up.
Marie used a blue keycard to board that service elevator. If I'm to get to the surface tonight, I'll need to find a keycard like hers.
All's quiet here.
I hope they can't see me here.
Remember to silence a body scanner before sending the girl through. A simple way to avoid seeing the inside of a confinement cell. Unless that's your thing.
No sign of the girl.
idea. My battery was running low.
The arc suits are effective in protecting their wearer against taser strikes, but their Achilles heel is their lack of face protection, which makes them vulnerable to pepper spray.
I don't have room for anything else.
Welcome to my domain. Care to purchase new abilities? Battle presents radio communications. Reveal present locations on the map. Come back anytime.
Confinement space in there. I don't know if I put the waypoints in there or not.
She looks really tall. Yeah, she does. She looks really big in this room.
I think it's partially because a lot of our other cameras out here are further away, so it makes it look kind of small. Well, I guess it's,
And some of these covers out here are actually kind of tall. Like
Yeah.
those planters and that like railing
Yeah, they're
are
pretty
a bit
tall.
tall.
Yeah, I actually thought it looked kind of good.
That she looks really small in the
No, oh, sorry, that she looked big in the hair.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it because of the FOVs?
It might be.
Right, I'll have to bust out the FOVs in that space.
Or maybe she's just big.
Amazonia help.
Yeah, she does look pretty big.
I don't think she's got lifters.
So, but don't worry about it. It's a work in progress.
All right. Good thinking. Let's go for the steal. Got it. I hope they can't see me here.
Super Time Force Ultra is an indie tour de force packed with the following essential ingredients: retro pixel art, face-melting 2D action, time travel, hilarious writing, and a rat skateboarding dinosaur. If you are someone who thinks there's a serious lack of hip, innovative games out there, Dr. Cooper has just the remedy. STFU.
Nothing. Prince Rack checking in. Clear.
I'll hold on to this.
There are challenges that improve ability, and those that merely prove a person inadequate for the task at hand. By leagues, Ulysses fits the latter category so well, it damn near creates it. It's nonsense without order. Joyce leaves postmodernism unmuzzled, worse than doggerel. To what end should we let our citizens waste the state's energy on this prattle? They squander their imagination decoding nonsense, while their work ethic grows brittle and raw.
I'll check his pockets. Got it.
Better raise the threat level.
It's a good thing I'm not claustrophobic. This must be Terminus. It seems almost alive. This must be what the headmaster's protecting us from. Whatever it is. I don't want to wake it up.
Skulls of the Shogun is a turn-based strategy game starring a dead samurai seeking revenge in the afterlife. The gameplay offers deep strategic choices, writing that is shockingly good, and a cool 32-bit vibe that makes you feel cool. I bet those fat cats over at 17-bit are happy. I have now purchased their game on 4 platforms, not that I'm regretting it.
Go to the terminus for the first time, and I think what you're describing early on was like in line with what I was hoping for. Was like you go on the first floor, you see this immense thing, right? But you don't have any other options. You just have the option to go forward, right? But you go in the cubicles area, right? And then you meet with Maddie Sade, and somehow maybe you make it to the second floor.
You could. That vent could go anywhere.
Yeah, or maybe we don't make it a vent. We can make it like a staircase,
Yeah,
or whoever,
yeah.
or it's an elevator. Right?
There's empty space right here. You can just go straight up.
So I'm kind of imagining it's like she basically gives you the quest, which is, hey, we're gonna do these character assassination things, and you can plug them into the terminus. So then maybe you go up, and then you get to the second floor. Now you have like these 3 doors that you've never seen before, which is like the 3 different paths, right? And maybe there's some backtracking or whatever, but you like it's there area 1, and you finish that, and you go and you plug that into the terminus. In section B, you go in there and you finish that, and you plug it into the terminus. In section C, you go in there, plug in the terminus, and then the boss door opens.
The Morning Bell newspaper. Weep says this is where they print the headmaster's lies. Do you think we'll find a key card around here?
Fellow citizens, it is morning in Metamorphosis. Bells are sounding, awakening us to a new dawn, a new era. For this reason, we must approach the day with fresh blood, bold thinking, and a return to the unbridled optimism for which we are now famous the world over. Our nation's paper of record, the Evening Standard, served us well in our early years. But lately it cries out for recalibration, rebranding. We have decided on a new name. And with that new name comes a new face. I think you'll agree there is nothing standard about the woman standing next to me. And so without further ado, please welcome our new editor-in-chief of the Morning Bell, the exquisite Matilda Sade.
Thank you, Headmaster. And please, call me Matty.
Hello, Morning Bell staff. This is Quinn Derringer. Security Mandate 714 requires the installation of a confinement room in your offices. The Prizrak need to expand their footprint in Terminus prior to the arrival. Pardon our progress this week as we take a few measurements and knock down a few walls. Please consider this a friendly merger and not a hostile takeover.
So we can either bring them into the reception area to do that talk, or maybe we add like another one of these like prompts in like the open space.
I was actually thinking that they could probably do it at the reading room. I mean, that just looks like a place where they would unveil.
But we never do historical POI.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's based in another. I mean, we do, but I think we try our best to have the historical POI based on the room that you are actually in. There's like a recording that was done there, right?
So yeah, it's a very natural idea you're having about just having it there in the space and just the employees and all that stuff.
It's not about introducing a new sign. It's about introducing a new person.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the only reason I would agree that like it needs to be in a bigger auditorium. But if we're attaching it to the sign, then I'm fine with it being, because he does mention a new name for the paper. So he is talking about a sign too in this POI. You can interpret it that way.
Very fine. He just turns it on. You can hear like okay, never mind.
So I think at the end of the day, for the sound design, we just need a small to medium audience. Not very large reverb, but still kind of like, I don't know, a good size. The ceilings won't be that high. There will be an audience who will applause. I don't know whether or not we want crowd wall in it.
Not during a speech.
Yeah.
But do you want the reveal of the sign? I like the idea of pulling the little sheet off of it.
I don't. Brendan brought up a good point. Like
it depends on how we record it.
The focus is on Maddie, not the sign. So I forgot about that. He's right.
But I still think we should set it in that.
Yeah, exactly. So presenting our new editor, like she comes out of her birthday cake. Woo!
Good idea. My battery was running low. That's more than I can carry.
Certain Prizrak in this area of the facility arm themselves with gas grenades. The effect will knock its targets unconscious. Sweet dreams.
Welcome to my domain. What are you buying? Come back anytime.
Sega bomb. Terrorists almost certainly planted explosives inside Metamorphosis. That's a bloody good headline. Too bad we'll never use it. If you tell someone there's a monster under their bed, they'll check for it every night before they fall asleep. But if you tell someone there's a bomb in their wall, they'll rip the whole house apart looking for it. We're not in the business of printing the truth. We're in the business of suppressing a national panic attack. Take these printed copies up to the librarian. Let him line the bottom of his bird cage with them. dodgy back-alley journalism school you purchased your press credentials from, Parker. But you must have caught ill the day they explained how a newspaper layout should look, if they ever explained it at all. This collage you left on my desk looks like it was slapped together by a blind child. You left no room for inserts, adverts, ears, or bleed. You know the problem with you, Parker? You're so caught up with the substance, you forget that above all, it needs to look pretty!
So this closet that we have back here, like,
over there.
do we want to get rid of
Kill
it?
it.
Kill it? Kill it?
Yeah,
All right.
there's never been anything. No one's like figured out something to put in there.
If the vent goes to back here, then I would recommend the closet. That's if you want to do the vent back there.
I mean,
I think
one thing I can make it much smaller, and we can make it like the closet we had in episode 1. But
Kill it. Yeah, I'm making a note.
Oh.
Kill. Before we jump to the Maddie Sade office, just as a quick thing to mention is backtracking through here, the options are the vent or the player getting caught and taken to confinement.
At the beginning of it.
Those are the only options.
Yeah.
Or, making it through. I'm just pointing out, like, with the regressing backwards through the space is not as hard, and I feel like that's actually okay for this first space. It's been tough. We're going to give you a little bit of a break.
I mean, again, it's almost like it's a little bit to their detriment, because like if they didn't get collectibles on the first way through, or there's POI, or they haven't seen the thing room and stuff, like they're gonna want to go back there and backtrack eventually. Yeah. And if especially if the garden encounters are like kind of tough, like we've talked about for this episode, they might be like a little mad of us if we like double tax them on the difficulty here.
Yeah, they're gonna lose their pride.
Zega's death video has disappeared. This coming from my source in the Prisrack. More likely they just didn't care for the ending, so they're doing reshoots. As you know, in this day and age, nothing's ever truly gone. Track down the unedited version. I would love to compare it to Hair Director's cut.
Nothing to report.
Arming taser. That was close. see what he's got. Nothing of interest.
When game designers sit down and think about what sort of game they should design for mobile, I bet many dream up something similar to 10 million, a bite-sized dungeon crawler with RPG mechanics and an addictive 3-minute gameplay loop. Credit goes to designer Luca Redwood for actually realizing his vision and building the quintessential mobile dungeon crawler. Most of us just stop at the dreaming part.
I'll be taking this. Unhand me. Check his pockets. God. I'll hold on to this. All right. Good thinking. I hope they can't see me here.
Increase the threat level. Threat level is back to normal.
Screwdriver. A Zager cassette.
Bad government fosters juvenile delinquency, and A Clockwork Orange pays tribute to it. Little Alex must learn on his own not to beat his elders with a cane. But good government has no patience for individual moral improvement, particularly now that Alex can hide behind the moniker Anonymous. The last thing we need are children free to cavort without oversight. The Republique carves up anonymity to sculpt the moral soul.
I will let you in on a little secret. When the internet was abuzz with praise for FTL, I was only part of that chorus because I wanted to be cool. Normally I would be all over what is essentially Oregon Trail set in space, but I just couldn't wrap my head around its complex systems. Then one day, the game clicked for me as I successfully led my crew to the far corners of the galaxy. From there, I set my forum posting speed to faster than light, ensuring everybody knew I was a fan since day one.
Heading to the vent. There goes another good screwdriver. A Zager room. Ugh. It really smells in here. I'm surprised the morning Bell staff never noticed.
A subject near to Zager's heart. He wrote about this very issue in the Poisoned Manifesto. As with everything, Zager saw it as a government cover-up in need of undressing. Zager kept lists like this one, to determine where citizens in Metamorphosis stood in case a revolution broke out. I guess I should be relieved he put me on the good side. That would be Derringer's personal office chair. When it went missing, Derringer immediately blamed me. I guess we can close the book on that mystery now. However, the mystery of how Zager got it through the vent remains unsolved.
Taser.
Know your enemies. I'm not talking about those that come at you with clenched fists, but with open arms. I'm not talking about that creepy old Victorian on the hill with the rickety shutter and the murder crows perched on the roof. No, that's too easy to see. I'm talking about the charming Mediterranean split level with the 2.5 kids in the yard. The one that looks warm and inviting, and you don't realize you're in a frame until you step inside and that big door swings shut on you. That is the real House of Horrors. Not Derringer. No, Derringer. A blind man could see through his brand of corporate evil. I'm talking about Treglazov. I'm talking about his mouthpiece, Maddie Sade, a resident journalist. A woman who's literally in bed with the overseer. Or has been. People talk. Anyway. I don't know what kind of journalist she was on the outside, but she's certainly sold her soul 1,000 times over in here. And what makes her so insidious is that she's too damn pretty. She's the plastic that'll melt first and cause a grease fire when the revolution heats up. She tells her lies through a megawatt smile. But for now, she's more dangerous than Derringer or any of those masked chumps. Even Mireille and all her empty promises have got nothing on Maddie. Actually, bad example. Mireille has got something on everyone. I've seen the files. Huh. You know? That gives me an idea. I got a message for the Prizrak. To all you... Okay.
Zager here. Gonna try a different format tonight. We're gonna... Hey! Hey! Sit. No. Just sit there. It's fine. It's all gonna be fine. All right, we're gonna switch things up a bit, and yours truly is gonna conduct an interview. You may know my first guest from such crimes against humanity as the recalibration of innocent children and the rape and murder of privacy. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big Zager Radio Hour welcome to one of the Arc Prizrak from Terminus Level 2. What? I can't understand. What? Oh, right, yeah, sorry. Here. Yeah, sorry about that. It pulls off the skin sometimes. Okay, so you're here, and you're here. It's a big show, so, introduce yourself. What's your name? Come on, say something. What's your name? Your mother. That is a terrible name! Your parents must have been horrible people. Okay, just stop. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. Dude, seriously, you're embarrassing me. Stop inching away from the mic. Can't hear you when you do that. Okay, my first question for you, sir. Who are the precals? Huh? Are they clones? Some kind of genetic experiment? Treglazov's illegitimate kids? What? I don't know. I don't have any association with the precals. No association, huh? That's funny because I caught you red-handed beating up a little boy, and yet you're saying no association. That boy. Yeah. 3W. He stole a uniform. He was armed. He was 95 pounds. He's a scared kid. Huh. You want to tell me why Derringer and the lot of you are so worried about one of the precals jumping off this little merry-go-round? It's for the protection. Right? How's that exactly? Huh? This is not going well at all. Do you want some coffee? Stop it! Answer my question! This is how an interview works. You've got to say things, dummy. Look. Did you piss your pants? Oh my God, you did. Okay, well, I guess I won't be borrowing your uniform after all. Please just stop. Okay, please. Hang on, just... Okay. Well, I think that's about all the time we have for today. Next week we'll do a call-in show. So, Zager out. Dude, so unprofessional. You can always find a crime. That's their motto. That's their mantra. They tattoo it to the inside of their eyelids. You can always find a crime, and it's true. You can find almost anything if you look hard enough. But you know, the one thing you'll never find, no matter how long you search for it, is the end of a good conspiracy. Just when you think you caught the beast by the tail, you round a corner and discover it just keeps going. It's never ending. It's all tail. And while you're gunning further and further down the rabbit hole, they're watching you. They're waiting for you to slip up, forget to rewind, run a red light, or play your T-Rex bootleg too loud after 10 p.m., which you only did because your ex-wife won't shut up about you not having a square job like all her friends' husbands with their starch white collars and their paisley ties. Carol! But my point is this. You think you're onto them, but they're onto you. You try to track them, follow them, find out their dirty little business. And that's just an open invitation for them to find out yours. So what am I saying? What am I saying? Am I saying you shouldn't pay attention? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, be smart. When you tail a suspect, you don't follow too close. If the winds change, they smell you coming up behind them. I'm telling you, you gotta be smart if you want to unravel a good conspiracy. So rule number 1, don't ask questions. At least not out loud or to anyone that's alive. Rule number 2, pretend you don't give a shit. You see them dump a body in the marsh, act like it's no big thing. And rule number 3, rules 1 and 2. If you don't ask questions, you'll never learn the truth. And if you look the other way when bad happens, just get away with it. Best thing you can do is to make a scene. Make a mess of things, look like a screw-up. Once they've written you off as a joke, go be smart. You can't break a few eggs without making an omelet. Just don't let them know you learned how to cook. This is Zager. And I'm telling you, don't trust anyone. Not even yourself.
If they don't get it, they don't get it, and they weren't going to get it either way. Even if we can put them in, if we make it a forced path through the Zager room, they might not even scan the POI or whatever. Second thing is, I look at this, it's like the schoolyard thing of, oh, you don't know about have you found the Zager room? Do you know where it is? Like, I really want that for our game. And I think if we make everything critical path, we lose some of that, like, schoolyard kind of gossip that happens on with the game. So those are my 2 thoughts. Go ahead.
2 things. One, I think you're thinking of it in terms of we don't want to cater to players who aren't engaged, and that's not the way I think of this. I think of this as a tool to help everyone who's designing the game and working on this design story element of the game have a baseline understanding of, like, okay, here's what the player knows, so here's what we can introduce, and, like, these are the tools that we can make use of, and it helps us just as much, if not more, than it helps players by giving them that. Like, we can now have, like, 3 episodes in, we can finally have, like, some sort of baseline assumption about, like, what the player knows. The second thing is, I question the idea that, like, the Zager thing is a schoolyard thing when it's an integral part of the story. It's not like a B story or C story. Like, this is the story. I feel like we move past episode 3 without acknowledging how instrumental and integral to the narrative it is, then that's risky.
So I'm using this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll tell David that.
Yeah, and he
if he has changes on the fly, we can talk about
And he knows
them.
what we're working with because he has that same doc too.
Where are we going with David and Darren?
They have a scene together, and then Darren's done.
They have a Zager tape together, and then Darren's done.
Is it a tape?
And we're going to record it with the tape recorder.
Yeah. But is it a tape? Wait a minute. Are they both going to be recording on that microphone?
So we're going to do it
on the tape recorder.
And on the tape recorder.
But my question is the tape recorder is going to be in front of David. How are you going to get his lines?
Oh, we're just going to put it on the stand between them. Those mics.
So like Darren's going to be in the corner, and then David might be a little closer.
That's fine. Yeah, I just want to make sure you have the right thing.
Thing impressively.
We're going to do something very cool. We're actually using an old Panasonic tape recorder for this next scene. For real. It sounds awesome.
Okay, vent. What's yours is mine.
Solov argues against nothing to hide and disastrously fails to prepare his reader for the truth. Everyone has something to hide. Who can seriously defend privacy in a world defined by social media, populated by busybodies who voluntarily post their lives online, drawn like zombies to link bait their favorite alternative news site? We need a Republique to become the information-gathering sentinel of history. We fight against those like Solov, who would ruin history for the right to watch pornography without accountability.
Let's see what he's carrying. I got something.
Aptly described as a top-down, thumb-up hotline, puts you in the shoes of a coked-up hitman willing to do anything to anybody. I'm not a fan of video game violence, but I can't help but appreciate its manic beauty. After playing a session, it's hard to shake the strange feeling it leaves me with. I don't like it, but I keep coming back for more.
Even if the game wasn't all about like contraband and like controlling people's like behaviors and stuff, 20 wine bottles is like a really sort of obvious lame way to sell the fact that Maddie likes to drink. It's like, Derringer likes to, play cards, so let's have like 40 decks of cards, in his office. It's just overkill.
Yeah, you're right. So what do you want me to do?
Say, like Nate was saying, maybe we repurpose that. They're like shelves, basically, is what you're talking about. Shelves.
We swap the bottles for other props.
Yeah.
And I think it could still look cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to handle that, dude? Or Nate Dog, or you want me to talk to those guys? Because I hate to do this, because this happens. This happens from time to time where it's hard to make everything cohesive out of the game. You need to have these kind of conversations, but it's unfortunate that Fiedler spent all that time making it look cool. I mean, even including probably those props too, like the wine bottles. So, but for the consistency of the story, I think it is important that we probably work them out.
Harold, are you sending me secret messages? Dear Miss Sade, let's not pretend the countdown to this day didn't begin the moment we hired you. As a seasoned newsman, I am disgusted to claim you as a colleague. You lack even a modicum of basic journalistic integrity and and your investigative methods are grotesque and unethical. Blah, 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 blah. I have ignored your poorly researched writing for too long. But your article about Treglazov was a new low, even for you. That you would bend truth so plainly in order to defend a man such as him, and to do so without even the slightest regard for the reputation of this August newspaper, is beyond the pale. Consider this letter your formal termination.
Have I made a compelling argument for metamorphosis?
You've been most illuminating.
And you've been a delight. Thank you for entertaining this nostalgic old fool for an evening, Miss Say.
Please, call me Matty. And the only fool I see is the shaky-handed barman over there who went stingy on my gin. Time for one more.
Rubbish! Every last word of it. This isn't how I thought I'd spend the eve of the arrival. Oh, Signor Octavo. I am so sorry.
Hi, you've reached Matty Sade at the Morning Bell. Please leave a message.
Hello?
Your stupid machine is on.
No, I'm stopping it. Hold on. There we go. Mireille, how are you, darling?
You loathsome.
Ah, not well, I guess.
I just spent the last hour getting slapped down by the headmaster because you thought it would be cute to create some pointless controversy around my drinking habits. You stupid, phony.
Phony? Well, if that isn't richer than the royal family. You're the phony, Mireille. You with your bogus name and manufactured accent. I am curious. How exactly did you manage to cultivate such a lovely and exotic French patois growing up in Blacksburg, Virginia? Miss Prideaux? Should I call you
Miss Sade?
If you want me to drop the issue, then you'd better drop the act. Ask me why I haven't shared that with the headmaster. What's the matter, darling? Cat got your tongue?
Another word about this and I swear to God I will end you.
But yeah, they're in a busy airport bar, so you're going to have like the wall of people running to catch their flights. They've been drinking, they've been talking for a while.
There's supposed to be like this moment where at the end when the overseer is getting up to walk away, he stands up and you can kind of hear his stool screeching kind of like away from right as he pushes it away. That's kind of one, right, like I imagine we could do like a lot of really, really cool things with, like, right, you can maybe faintly hear like a plane taking off in the background, or you can hear people like with like the rolling luggage like walking down kind of to like, you know, their terminal.
Yeah, like again, my mental image was like more of an upscale bar in like the airport. I think the overseer's got pretty, how do you say, like exquisite, like pretty expensive taste.
Maybe it's like one of those Admiral Club sort of private for the airline bars,
carpeted.
You know? Yeah, carpeted.
Yeah.
It could be. You could have a marble floor or something like that, right?
Because you can hear her high heels, maybe.
We still want to get the sense that we're at an airport, you know, like glass, you know, floor-to-ceiling windows, and beyond that it's the tarmac, so you would hear planes taking off and landing. I think if we sell that more than even just people's voices in the background, we
that's true.
But yeah, I do like the idea that it's sort of it's more a classy place, and they're just like grabbing a Starbucks or something.
I think the design of the desk was that they liked having the shelf there, and I wasn't one way or another about the shelf. I just needed to wait for Hope to reach underneath it, and you could still see.
Why not put the key card on the shelf?
Because then it changes the animation too much because of Hope's height. She would no longer be creeping at that point. She'd actually have to stand up and reach up to get it.
She's short. Yeah, that's part of the confusion is how does she see this key card?
As long as you can see it.
Yeah, I think that's good feedback. I think you have to make sure that the key card's visible from the angle that the player is going to be seeing.
Yeah, you will not be watching this cinematic from this angle. This is for Foley.
Anna, feedback?
I mean, it might be too much from a feature standpoint, but I feel like Maddie awakens kind of abruptly. It might make sense to have like a prop on the desk that Hope kind of like knocks over onto the ground. She like brushes with her arm, and that effectively looks like what wakes her up.
Thoughts, guys?
Would it help if the snoring audio stopped when Hope reaches the desk, so you have like a clue that she's awoken?
Well, could it be?
Just out of
Could we just do like with no visuals, just like with audio, like you know how like there's just some creaks in floors that you just don't anticipate. Like that might help. It's like really subtle, but it's enough to kind of wake her up.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have like the audio, like the floorboard creaking, and then you suddenly hear the snoring stop.
Yeah. What do you think, David?
Yeah, I'll write an addendum for the email that I already sent out to Forswick.
There you go.
There it is. The key card.
Leaving so soon? You'll need more than that to get out of here. It's all right. They won't come in here. Apparently they're afraid of me. Oh, what I'll write about them. Would you like a drink? Or would it corrupt your coding? You're a long way from home.
I don't have a home.
Do you have a soul? Do precals have souls? I used to. Until one night, I went to bed with the devil. I woke up regretting it. But I did it again the next night, and the night after that, and every morning I'd look at what I'd written and issue an apology. But that wore me out. Sincerity is exhausting. So I started faking it. As a woman, you learn to fake an apology. As a woman journalist, that's all you end up doing. So what's your story?
I'm escaping.
Good luck with that.
Do I have a chance?
Stupider people than you have gotten further in life with less help. You do have help, right?
No.
I see. Well, I thought I heard you talking to someone earlier. So what's your plan for getting to the surface? Because there's a pair of armoured Prizrak upstairs who like their jobs too much to let some empty-headed twit with a stolen mobile get the better of them. No offence.
None taken.
Well, I know a way to remove them. No blood, no violence. You won't have to get your hands dirty. You know what a news office calls their archives? They call it the morgue, the place where old news goes to die. But But sometimes we'll bring a story back to life. Sometimes we'll raise the dead. Are you willing to summon a ghost or two?
Yes.
Then let's see which poor souls we're dealing with tonight. Edwin Chung and David Bowen. There are 2 data hubs on either side of Terminus, Atlantic and Pacific. Getting to them won't be easy, but you'll manage. Go, now.
I don't understand. What do we do when we get to them?
We?
Me.
Right. Find the Pacific and Atlantic servers. I'll call you when you get there.